Awesome, awesome, awesome. Today you guys are going to see one of the most beautiful things that I have ever had. Guitars. Woo! Hi everyone, this is Jonathan Lewis Music on A.C.W.M coming to you again with another video, and today is the official day that I'm going to be showing you guys every one of my guitar gear. Now just keep in mind, it's going to be the guitars that are working. I'm going to show you this thing right here. I'm going to play through this thing right here. I'm going to show you what this little thing on the side is in a bit. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started to it. First of all, we're gonna start off with this guitar right here. This here is a 1992 Epiphone Sheridan. I bought it off Reverb for $565, I believe. It's, in my opinion, one of the very coolest of guitars that Epiphone actually ever made. If you guys know your guitars very well, they basically modeled this after the famous Gibson ES335. And I'll put a picture of that guitar up there for you right now. Very stunning guitar. This guitar makes the ES335 look like as if Gibson didn't put enough effort into making it look nice. So Epiphone decided to just bling the bad boy up, you know? John Lee Hooker was known for playing this guitar, believe it or not. So I can put in a link of a video that you can see of him actually playing the Sheridan. And of course, if you remember in my introduction video, I showed the Sheridan and I showed you how Murray from the Wiggles actually played the Sheridan in that movie, Wake Up Jeff. I like the sound that comes out of these humbuckers. It's just a very beautiful, just full, just angry sound, you know? They're hugely high output. Gold is wearing off on this and the stop bar tailpiece. So it's kind of turned to silver, which even though the gold is, you know, mostly spray on, it definitely shows that nice bits of wear on it. I also like how it's got this pickguard design. It's called the tortoiseshell. I guess that's like after like the way they would make like a Fender pick or something, which is super cool. And then you got the block inlays right here that they made on this thing with the mother of pearl triangle going down it, which I could keep saying a lot of different stuff. The tree of life on the headstock, just every single thing. I could keep talking on and on and on and on about this guitar. I just can't say enough. Anyways, you've seen, now let's actually hear. Go back to the bridge pickup. I'm gonna put a little bit of dirt on there. I'm gonna put like a slight bit of boost. It's got one of those little bluesy kind of sounds to it, especially when you get on the neck pickup where it's like. So this right here is a 2015 Epiphone Les Paul 100. The whole concept behind the 100, believe it or not, was to make a very affordable Les Paul guitar, basically in the whole look. Because if you guys have seen the Epiphone Les Paul Special, they basically make it to where it's like just the whole guitar without the pick guard on it, which is kind of a random design. It's an okay design, but it's not one of my favorites. And then they only just have it to where it's like a volume and a tone knob down there, and then the pickup switch would be down here. So this is more of an original design. They try to fit it in, and they just put it on the bolt-on neck. It's a very cheap guitar, but it's very gold. This is my first Les Paul. Well, actually my only Les Paul guitar that I actually have. As you can see, there's some knobs that fell off. I need to find where those things went. When I got this guitar, I was 14 years old. Yeah. And this guitar has had a crazy amount of different stuff that's actually happened to it. Believe it or not, the back of this guitar is like very worn out to the point where there's like paint rubbing off from my belt buckle that would rub off in the back of this thing at the times when I'd be playing at church. But it shows you how much love I've basically given this. And I like the vintage sunburst color on this thing. I don't know what it is with me and sunburst guitars these days, but nonetheless, it's a very amazing guitar. Stock tuners, very cheap, but you know, they're all right. You know, they do the job. You know, there could be better ones out there that I'm using. I got a strap lock because the last thing we need is for the guitar to fall off on you. But how you basically put it on is it's attached to this little thing, and you just hold this little, I guess, button on the end, hook it on. Well, there's my clean tone. Well, it's kind of getting a little bit gritty because I have my amp on a certain volume, so it's kind of breaking up a little. So anyways, could tell or not, but unlike the Sheridan, the Les Paul is just a little more brighter, so you get a lot more like crisper like kind of rockier tones. From the old intro that I did. This is the 1984 Fender American Standard Stratocaster. That is my dad's. I might see if I can try to snag it off him though one day. This is a beautiful sounding guitar. I believe my former church's former pastor actually gave this to my dad, believe it or not. It's one very beautiful guitar. It's got EMG single coils on it, so it's active, so that means they run off battery. Am I a fan of them running off battery? No, I'm not whatsoever. I like it when they're passive, just because, you know, it's worry-free and hassle-free. It's got Spurgel locking tuners on the back of it, which is actually good for these strings, so that way I guess they don't fall out of place. I'll go ahead and show you guys this guitar right now. Here's a clean tone without drive on it. I'll go ahead and go for a neck pickup. Alright, put a little dirt on there maybe. Got that below. By the way, I know this is not the most professional looking setting up here. I do have a video camera I plan to be using soon, but for now, my phone was the only thing that I could use and have on me right now. Here's my Telecaster style guitar. This is a Subline Jayhawk. Subline was a company that was built right out of Lakeland, Florida, and from what I heard, they went out of business. So it's a shame because all these companies that actually make non-knockoff, but more so custom style guitars of Fenders are one of the most unique things in my opinion, and probably have a lot more characters in. Now, I got this guitar back in 2017 from a music store right out of Plant City, and I don't know about you guys, but if you ever just like grab a guitar and you just have that this is the one kind of feeling, you know? In that case, that was how I felt with this guitar. The wood is ash on the body, and the neck is made out of maple, so you get some good tone combination. And on the back of this thing, you'll see this amazing transparent wood pattern on the back, color of charcoal, so that's amazing. It's a satin finish on this thing, so it's not going to be shiny. And then the pickup combination I like, they call this a frame train on the bridge, which is basically kind of like modeled after like your stereotypical Telecaster bridge pickup, and then this is a Bruisertron neck pickup, basically emulating the kind of like Fidelitron things that Gretsch guitars have used, which I do have a Gretsch guitar that I'm going to be showcasing next right after this one. Anyway, so here's the Subline. Here's pretty much everyone's, I know's, favorite guitar. This is a Gretsch G5420T hollow body guitar. The Gretsch G5420T is probably one of my more uniquer and probably one of my more well-known guitars. I remember when I first got on the worship team at my church, this is the first guitar I played on the worship team. And everyone was going all crazy over me, and they liked how that guitar sounded. They kept complimenting the heck out of that thing. And they just liked how it sounded, and just with the skills that I had, they just went crazy over me. On this guitar, there are two sets of Filtertron pickups, blacktop Filtertrons to be exact with you. I just changed out the TV Jones that were in this thing and put some Filtertrons in there. However, for some reason they're still low output. TV Jones are supposed to be like low output pickups, and the Filtertrons are supposed to be more like high output. I don't know why they're still not like high output though. I don't know if it's because there needs to be a specific volume pot that's in there to make them high output. But I need to fidget around with that and see why it actually isn't getting full signal. But other than that though, it sounds great. I just have to put a high amount of distortion to actually get it to sound right. I got master volume. I got my Bixby vibrato right here. I chose to sit down by the way because I'm a little bit tired, and it's kind of what happens when you stand for a while, you know. You're gonna like the sound of this guitar. Really good.